Google Harpoon Pest Solutions. When it comes to bugs, just say no. Call 215-588-2180.
What's up, everybody? We're back again. It's the week before March, and we are getting into the termite season. We're getting into the season of bugs where basically I'm able to pay some bills soon, but we're looking forward to springtime. You can see the time already changing. Again, this week we're still going to talk about termites, and why do they swarm? Why do you see these little ants with wings crowding around your window? And as it gets a little warmer, as Quincy's going to talk about we're going to talk about these ants that you may see. You might not even know you have them, but you may see them probably as it get a little warmer, high 50s, low 60s. Quincy, you can start us off on that, brother.
Yeah, so
And I should have introduced you first. Hey, Quincy.
what's up, man? Yeah, so everyone knows that, especially in the pest industry, or if you've owned a home for a long time, if you've ever experienced, like Vernon said, it's the ants with wings. That's the first thing people say when they see swarmers. They say, "Oh, it looks like ants with wings," and that's something that has to be determined whether it's actually ant or if it's a termite. But around this time of year, that's why we chose to do this podcast, is because around this time of year, um, especially going into March, April, people call most pest control companies, their phones will start ringing off the hook because they have people calling in about termite swarmers or what appears to be ants with wings. And just to give an idea of what it looks like, this is basically what it is. But why do they swarm? Why this time of year? The swarms will happen like once a year, and it's normally in the spring. It could happen again later on in the season, but this is what people see typically. They look like ants with wings, and this is the call we'll get. People say, "Look, I have these ants that are flying around." Um, like Vernon said, around the window, around the doorway. But why does this happen? That's like the most important thing. So we're going to establish why this happens in this episode, and then some other episodes we can go further into what happens with termite stuff. So the first reason why this happens because, as was mentioned earlier, the weather gets warm. It starts to get warm. You have a couple consistent days of 50 degrees, 60 degrees, and there's different things involved, barometric pressure and all that stuff that cause these termite swarms to kind of happen. And it normally happens like in the afternoon or sometimes in the early evening. And the number two reason, really, which is one that should alert a homeowner, is that if they have a swarm, it's termite swarm when the original colony has reached maturity or has reached capacity. So a lot of times termites colonies will swarm once you have about maybe 3 to 5 year old termite colony. That would cause them to do that, to swarm. Their whole purpose is to get out to the light and go out into the grass and reproduce and make more colonies. So the reason why, I don't know why they're attracted to light, but that's typically what happens. So they're going to be around a window or doorway. Sometimes this will happen outside your house, in the late evening, still in the daylight hours, the late evening. And number three, basically, the purpose of swarmers is to create new colonies. That's to create new colonies, which can never be a good thing if you own a home, right? And you see a termite swarming. So the next slide presentation, or the next slide rather, I'll let Vernon break this down, but is what it means for you as a homeowner if you see swarming activity inside your house. Like, what does that actually mean for you? And that's the most important thing. If you see it outside in a tree stump, nobody cares, But if you have swarmers inside your home, what does that mean? So go ahead, Brian,
Right.
you break that down.
Yeah, in the case that you got an infestation, one guy that we did last season, the termite season, he obviously was not able to identify that it was termites, and what he did was he just took out some, I don't know what kind of can of spray he took out, but he sprayed them and he killed the ants. That's not going to get rid of your termites. I just want to be clear on that. What you're seeing is kind of the bugs that don't eat the wood. The bugs that's eating the wood is tearing your wood up. You know, so you don't want to just spray them. That's not even a majority of your termites. Um, it's good to know that they don't bite human flesh. So you don't have to be scared of them. If you have children or something in the house, they're not really interested in you anyway. But it does mean that they're eating up the wood in your house. It doesn't exactly mean that you need a carpenter all the time, because they don't eat fast. Subterranean termites don't eat that fast, but they are eating, and so you want to get a professional out immediately. You don't want to take it into another season. And the other mistake that's made is you don't want to say, well, they'll die off in the winter. That's not true either.
Yeah.
They
So
don't die off in the winter. They might go dormant for a little bit, but you're still going to have them that following year. And so those are the things that it means. It means that you really just want to have us or someone come out and do a termite job. You if you have soil around your house, we dig a trench, we treat it down in the soil, roughly about 2 feet down or so, and we treat it from underground because they're traveling underground. If you have concrete around your house, we drill half-inch holes. We treat under the concrete. We patch the hole, and you're good to go. So and there's some other things we may do to your wood, but that's the hardest part of the job, as far as drilling concrete. So
yeah, and those swarmers, that swarming activity, is really alarming to people when they see it happen inside their house. Because it's scary. I mean, you got bugs that get, you could have thousands of them. It appears to be thousands of them. Um, so, and it can actually go on for a little while. So you can have a swarm that will occur for like maybe 30 or 40 minutes. So if you could just imagine for 30 or 40 minutes, something, thousands of bugs and insects just shooting out of what appears to be some type of hole or crevice or something like that, that would be scary. So some practical things that a homeowner could do, because until a professional gets there or a company gets, is that you could take a vacuum and you could just suck them up. You could just suck the bugs up, or um, some warm soapy water and just spray them. That will kill them because they don't really have a lot of fight in them at all. They come out of these shelter tubes, and uh, they will discard their wings. So you'll see a lot of wings and stuff like that laying around, and you can just clean them all up. But as Vernon was saying, when you have a um, termite swarming activity like that, it's more than likely it's time to have your home, um, you know, treated with the conventional style treatment, to lay that barrier in the ground and eliminate that problem. So that's normally how that works.
yeah, so we pretty much appreciate everybody for listening. Hopefully this problem won't happen to you. From a business aspect of it, um, this podcast really is geared towards you homeowners, but also towards if you're a realtor. I know we got some friends that's realtors. It's getting into the buying season. I think we talked about this briefly on our. I don't know if it was the last podcast or the one before. I can't keep up, but um, yeah, if real estate companies, we deal with real estate companies that uh, termite inspections is required.
Hmm.
The mortgage companies, if you're getting a loan, a termite inspection is required. And one of the problems that we're seeing is that they know you're getting a loan. A lot of these companies know you're getting a loan, or they know you're selling, and they gouge the price because they know you're kind of desperate to get it done. And so we have relationships with realtors to let them know how we do it, and that we're not gouging the price, to get into these good relationships with realtors. So if you're a realtor listening, you're doing the PA area, Delaware, Jersey, give us a call. We come out, do an inspection, and we're honest with people. We take photos. We'll show you the damage. The termite tubes, we'll show you what that is. We didn't have that picture actually on the slide, but if you go to our Google My Business page, you type Harpoon Pest Solutions and just go to the page. There's plenty of pictures of termite tubes on there that you can take a look at.
Yeah, for sure. That's one of the things we've done plenty of plenty of termite stuff, plenty of termite inspections. One of the questions we get hit with a lot too is, you know, people will call and request that we go out, take a look at termite damage and try to assess whether or not it's active. That's really easy. Most of the time we get out there, it's old damage. Is really not active.
Or sometimes it's water damage.
Or sometimes it's water damage. So that's a whole nother podcast, because
right.
Just the things that you have to look for was water damage and was termite damage. They're very simple. They're very simple. And there have been, like you talked about price gouging and stuff like that. We've seen plenty of times where we've gone behind other companies, and realtors and home property owners have been told, oh, that's termite damage, when we clearly can see that it's water.
Yep.
That it's been water rot or water damage or something like that. So it's knowing what to look for, and then what was I going to say? About the termite damage itself, whether or not it's active. Sometimes, it's tough as a pest control company when you go behind and when you find previous damage from termites. It's kind of hard to sign off on that report and say, oh, it's not active, or it doesn't need to be treated. More so, it doesn't need to be treated because you don't know what treatment was done there. So even though I may find termite damage and it's not active, for us as a company, it means did need to be treated, because we don't know what treatment was done 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and it's kind of hard to say when. So that's just something I wanted to clarify, because that's a question we always get. Can you go out there? They found termites. They found a termite tube. Can you just let me know if it's active or not? All right, it's not active, but my recommendation is to treat it.
Yeah. So basically, what Quincy's talking about is the reason why we have to go on the side of caution is insurance. Yeah. So any termite company, pest control company that do the job, it's insured. The work is insured. So if the mortgage company finds termites within that year later, now we got to go back out for free. Yeah. So it's an insurance thing. So that's why if there's damage, and companies tend to go on the side of caution and treat it, which is why gouging is important, because if they find no damage or whatever, and they say, listen, I'm not insuring this, I'm not signing off on this. Oh, that's going to be $2,500. Right. So they're just trying to take advantage of the situation. Right. But that's what we got on termites. Anything else you got, Quincy?
Nah. I mean, we can go on, we can go on, and we'll do some other episodes about, termite stuff and all that good stuff later on.
Yeah. All right. So that's it. That's another episode. We look forward to talking to you guys next week. Like I said, in the comments, anything you want to talk about, don't matter what it is, let us know. We'll talk about it. We appreciate you guys for listening. This is Harpoon Pest Solutions. My man Quincy. I'm Vernon. See you next week.
All right.